99.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back for the 7th episode of the Top Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Tim Utley. I'm joined by the man who does not do what he's told, Alfred DeTrutis.
Rebel without a fucking cause.
Another one of our hosts today, special guest, Justin.
Hey.
And as always, the ghost of the internet, Chris Ruggieri.
What's going on?
So today we have a very, very, very special episode for you. This is going to be our PAX East 2014 episode.
PAX East!
So we're gonna kind of skip over some of the shit that we typically do. For playing, just quick fire, guys. What did you play this week?
Retro Gun for PS4.
Nice.
Burial at Sea Part 1 and 2.
Hitman Absolution.
Nothing.
Ah, that's a first.
So for what are we watching? Actually, that's bullshit. In line at PAX, I played some Killzone Mercenary, but that doesn't really matter. I did play a lot of stuff at the show, but we're going to talk about that in a few moments. So for watching, though, on the other hand, I did watch a lot of shit because I had one day where I could do nothing but Netflix. So watch anything this week?
Finished watching Attack on Titan.
Nice. What'd you think?
Overall, it was good.
Fucking ending, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not going to spoil it, but
yeah.
fucking watch that show. It's awesome.
Nothing.
Reruns of King of the Hill and American Dad and Family Guy. I love Adult Swim.
All right. I finished Sword Art Online. What the fuck else? I watched... what the fuck was it? Drawing a blank. I watched that movie...
Just Jobs.
I watched Jobs, but I watched another movie too. I think.
You were in the middle of watching something.
I
I
got like halfway through Into the Wild. That's actually a really good movie. I want to finish it. And then what else did I watch? That's about it. But yeah, so we run through all that bullshit. What's new with Tap Gaming? PAX East, baby.
Full coverage.
What games came out this week?
Okay, so Tim and Justin, for the record,
while I was gone,
while they were gone
at
PAX East, while they were gone at PAX East, I was in charge of the podcast outline. I didn't do my job. However, I did edit a shitload of videos that you can now see in our PAX East playlist, which I created. Anywho, I don't know about new releases. The only new releases that come every single day are in my pants.
That's disgusting.
No, nothing. Crickets.
I'm sure it's a pretty big release.
I can't honestly, like, sitting here thinking, like, I go on IGN and just watch the reviews and everything. I can't tell you a single game that came out this week. It was probably just a bunch of crap.
So that's what came out this week. Ladies and gentlemen, crap.
And me jizzing my pants.
Jesus Christ, thanks, Al.
No.
Al's ejaculate, now on iOS.
Yeah! Make it. You'll love it.
I think the only thing, and it probably didn't come out this week, but the only new game that I saw was Trials Frontier on iOS. But anyways, moving forward, news, we're going to burn through this. Bruce Lee is going to be in UFC 2014. Microsoft is exploring ways to emulate Xbox 360 games on Xbox One. And PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale got a huge update called the Ultimate Update. So that's it for news this week. Yay! Woo!
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyways, so, alright, PAX. We got a lot of stuff to talk about and not a lot of time to do it, so we're going to get fucking right into it.
Where do we want to start?
That is a very good question.
If we want to talk about presents?
We can talk about the cadence of the show first, which I think was much different, and I think it has to do with what happened with the the marathon bombing.
Yeah, you could definitely tell.
Yeah, first off, at PAX, they literally never have security. Like, it's the most lax security in the world. This year, even if you went outside to, like, look at a fucking bird, like, eat a crumb, and you came back in, they completely searched you all over again. Like, they didn't take any chances. So the security was heightened. They reduced the time of the show. They used to play, the concerts used to go to, like, 1 or 2 a.m.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Everything ended at midnight this year.
No, I didn't know that. We didn't go to any of the video game, concerts, so.
Yeah, we did better shit.
Yeah, no. No mini bosses, so no mini bosses, no love from me.
Yeah, so, but as you were saying about presents, I'll let you take away.
So one of the big things that I happened to notice this year was a lot of companies were missing. I feel that it's because we're in a transition stage from the gen that we're on to new gen, and a lot of the big names are saving all their guns for E3. So there was no EA, there was no Nintendo, there was no Konami, there was no Capcom, there was no Nintendo.
You said that already.
There was one more I had in my head. I couldn't think of it.
Well, Sony wasn't there either.
Oh, that was the one I was missing.
Yeah.
I meant to say Sony. I said Nintendo twice.
Shitload of indies though, like almost. It's like it was the year of indie and MMOs.
Oh yeah, like at least half the floor was just indie developers.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
Indie MOBAs and MMOs they were everywhere, which is fine.
Evolve.
The big booths, yeah. 2K had a booth, Bethesda had a booth. Microsoft had a booth, but they were just showing off like old shit. Like, come play Rise.
Do you want pens?
And then you had your PC stuff. You had Nvidia. You had League of Legends.
Yeah, League of Legends is the biggest thing there, far and away.
Be stupid if they weren't there.
Yeah,
Magic.
Twitch. Yeah, Magic had a pretty big booth. Twitch had a big booth.
Speaking of Twitch, I'll go back to my problem. So Twitch had a booth, and they had a lot of real estate there.
There was stuff inside. Like you had to walk around the booth. They had
I didn't even realize there was an entrance and stuff inside. I honestly was
to the side of it,
just.
they had other stuff in there.
I was just looking on the outside. I was like, "There's no game station set up. There's no line for anything. There's no nothing here. Why are they even here?"
Yeah, well, it's like I think they kind of it's a community event, and Twitch is like
big.
Synonymous with the gaming community.
I think it's because they're horsist. They're against horses.
Well, I proved them wrong. I proved them wrong this weekend.
Horsist.
By the way, you may have seen me troll you this weekend. I was the one with the tie all day Friday, staring at you with the horse mask on, not moving, or just being as creepy as possible.
He was a giant horse's ass. Yeah, no.
You're just batting zero today, man. You should just
fuck you guys.
You should just get
but anyways, all right. So presents, yeah, it felt different. I thought it was gonna be, even looking at the exhibitor list before we went, I was just like, where the fuck is everyone? And for the 10-year anniversary, it seemed kind of somber. Like everyone, it was a good show, but I didn't feel like it. Also, Saturday was busy, but it didn't feel as well attended, and that could just be me. I feel like last year it was much bigger.
Last year was crazy. Saturday was crazy, I felt too. Friday didn't feel like there was as many people as there was at the start of last year, though.
I feel like there was more cosplay. Is that the case or no?
No, I feel like there was less.
Really?
Yeah, I feel it was less and less extravagant. Like last year when we went, we saw that Bumblebee, and that was just fucking out of control. Like there were some good ones, but the ones that are really good were like the pros.
Do you think? Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, there was a couple Wildstar had some Jessica Nevers there. We didn't get a chance to see her, but there was one guy that was there who was just it was ridiculous. It was one of the most elaborate things I've ever seen.
Do you think another year past what happened in Boston? Do you think that could help make it bigger, or do you think it's just gonna kind of maintain this just even keel of what you just experienced this year?
I think they'll get past it, but I think now it's one of those things where I don't know if they're gonna ever be able to kind of revert back to the way it was.
For me, I think a lot of the reason that we didn't see a big presence of cosplayers was mostly just because of the gaming community expanding, where it's not PAX from 3 years ago, where all the people from Anime Boston, Comic-Con, stuff like that went to PAX. You're getting a bunch of, Maddens and all these kinds of Call of Duties and all those kinds of people that don't necessarily invest the time or the money into cosplaying and just want to go to the show. I just think it shows an evolution of gaming community expanding.
General public.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we met up with a lot of people later that they didn't. I don't mean to typecast or profile people who go to the shows, but you can look at someone who goes to even if you're just walking around the day of the con and you're walking around and you see people walking around and you're like, that guy was at PAX. But there's a lot of people this year that were just I guess what we could consider hipsters. A lot of skinny jeans, a lot of plaid.
Oh, jeez.
But anyways, yeah, moving past that. But yeah, into what we saw.
Still memorable, I'm sure.
Oh no, it's always a good time. My favorite time of the year. So, where to start?
Yeah, I'm gonna have you start at the top. The big name, Evolve.
Yeah, I was able to play Evolve. Saturday morning. Yeah, Saturday morning. It was the first thing I did when I got to the expo. But yeah, I did a quick video on it, but I was kind of distracted because
Major Nelson walked by us
I was
in the middle of the video.
Yeah, I was filming it, and I'm just like, Major, it was really good. Play it, it's awesome. But no, it's Turtle Rock Studios' new game. They made the first Left 4 Dead game, and it's 4-on-1. So it's one person plays as the monster, and there's 4 hunters. They each have their own abilities, and your objective is to kill the monster, and the monster's objective is to kill you or destroy a generator, depending on what level you play. But yeah, the game it's pretty fast paced. Playing as the monster was kind of cool. Like, you are like super powerful, but like in that game, like, you need to play with your teammates. So not having a teammate, kind of, I don't know, if they had like 2 monsters, it would be ridiculous. But yeah, like when all 4 players are like just beating the shit out of you, like, they can really do some damage. And I think when the game comes out, I think it's gonna be a fresh experience. Like, it plays like your standard first-person shooter, but it's a lot of fun, and I think anyone who really dug Left 4 Dead is definitely gonna enjoy Evolve as well.
Could you see yourself playing that, Chris?
Maybe. I did enjoy Left 4 Dead, although I didn't play for very long. I don't really play them online either, so it kind of depends on how well the AI behaves to help you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, they didn't really go into specifics about, like, if you go online and play with other people. They didn't say, in the presentation at least, if those other players, like, they wouldn't even have a chance for, like, to do questions. They were just like, okay, get the fuck out.
I would have loved to have played. I just didn't want to wait in line for 3 hours.
And that's another thing. Well, we'll talk about that after. But no, they didn't say if like you go online and say it's like you, like, say you and I were playing it, and the other 2 classes aren't filled. Like, they didn't say if those are filled with AI or if you have 4 people and you don't have a monster. Like, they didn't really go into specifics of how, like, people are selected. I'm assuming that you can pick whatever class you want, but yeah, there was a lot of things. They just showed off, like, the core mechanics of the game. They didn't really go into specifics. So hopefully, obviously, the game comes out this year, they'll have more stuff on it. But yeah. But to kind of circle back real quick to what you said about the lines, that's one thing I think really hurt. Like, when there's a lot bigger, like, when there's a lot more AAA stuff there, it kind of thins out the lines. When you only have like 3 major publishers there, the lines were fucking insane. And I mean, like, every line was insane. Like, sometimes the lines are okay, but every fucking line was insane. Evolve, ridiculous. Wolfenstein, ridiculous. Evil Within, ridiculous. Borderlands, ridiculous. We stayed, like, the line for Below was
hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half, and that's just like a fucking indie game.
What was the easiest line?
Oh, a lot of the booths, like, some of them, if it's a game that, like, Guacamelee, like, Drinkbox was there with Guacamelee, like, I just walked up and, like, it was funny as hell because they had it on the new, like, remixed version that's coming out. They had it on every single system, set up on every TV, and no one was playing the Wii U version. I just walked up and sat down, and I was like, oh, fuck around with it. I like me some Guacamelee, but yeah. So when there's more people there, the lines are more evenly distributed. But yeah, it was like a 5-hour wait for Wolfenstein, like a 4-hour wait for Evil Within. Yeah, Evolve was somewhere between 4 and 5 hours, and it's like when you only have, if you have one day to, like, be at a con, like, I'm not sitting in line for fucking 5 hours.
Because it's 10 to 6, right?
Yeah, you have 8
hours. Yeah, that's such a waste of time.
You'll literally spend half your time there sitting in a fucking line.
Woo, so awesome.
To watch a tech demo or play 10 minutes of a game that you're going to get to be able to play in most cases this year.
Yeah, so I had an appointment for Evolve, so I got lucky. But yeah, I played the game for literally 10 minutes.
Did they have Watch Dogs there or no?
No.
It wasn't playable. again.
They had
What?
no playable demo.
That's
Which
stupid.
brings me to something else that I brought up with you. The game's coming out in a little over a month.
May 27th.
Yeah, a little over a month. We have not seen a single like. I have yet to see anything that lets me actually check out the game. I mean, I've seen footage, but that's about
They
it.
keep doing this, like the story, like that last story trailer that came out showed a little bit more, but it's like, why do you not want people to play this game?
I
They
mean,
had everything else. They had the crew out. They had what was that game, like Ghost Recon Phantoms or some shit?
yeah, there was a Ghost Recon game. The IGN, some of the IGN guys swore that they got to play it and it was good, but I just would have liked to have seen something playable. It's a month before the game comes out, and you're not even gonna have like your top selling game at a con to hype it up.
Well, I think someone was playing it. There was a monitor, but and it was in game, and the game looks all right. It's not like I was not impressed at all. Honestly, it looks a little graphically, it looks a little bit better than Grand Theft Auto 5. A little bit, and that's kind of pathetic when it's a next gen game.
Luckily, I don't care about that. I just hope that the gameplay itself and the story is solid. That's what's gonna sell me.
Well, yeah,
I know it's next gen.
No, I know it's next gen, but I'm saying you should be concerned about the gameplay if they're not letting people play it.
That's why I brought up that topic to begin with. It does concern me that they won't let people get hyped about it. I want to play it. I want to be excited about it.
Yeah.
You excited about it, Chris?
Kind of, because I would kind of like to play another Grand Theft Auto type game, but I mean, yeah, there's a lot of there's a lack of footage and stuff, so I'm very uncertain as to whether or not I'm gonna be purchasing it. So
I think honestly, I think the game is just gonna sell well. Not necessarily I think if the game does well, in reviews, if it gets between if it gets a 7 or up, I think the game's gonna sell really well because there's just not a lot out. I think we're all kind of excited for it because it's like taking a 500-pound tuna and throwing it in a fish tank. It's a big game in a small space. There's not a ton of shit coming out, so.
There was so much hype for that game as a release that, you still have people who became fans of it just from thinking that, oh wow, this could be an awesome release title, and they still hold out hope that maybe it's still going to be just as good as what they thought. We'll see.
I mean, from the moment I saw eyes on it at E3 when they first revealed the trailer, I said, "This game is absolutely incredible. I can't wait to play it." And it's I've been that way since the beginning.
Yeah, and I remember you had a PlayStation 4 pre-order, you had Watch Dogs pre-ordered, and then they pushed it back, and you're like, nope.
Nope. I ended up buying an Xbox One, but I think I am going to buy a PS4 next month for it.
I don't blame you. Let's see. Moving forward, what's the next thing that we wanted to talk about?
The next game on the tier, the one that was the game of the show.
Yeah, the game that every single person fucking verbally filleted for, God knows, oh, you gotta play it. The game's called Below. So.
Are they working on a sequel called Above? Or?
No.
Someone's breathing really heavy. Stop it.
Maybe me.
Yeah, all I hear is.
Moving past my Darth Vader.
All right. Well, yeah. So game is Below. It's done by Cappy Games. Yeah, everyone was talking about it. We went to the Midnight City IGN party Friday night, and everyone's like, "You gotta play Below." I was like, "Oh, no one wanted to talk about Evolve. No one wanted to talk about anything else. It was just go fucking play this game." So the next day after Evolve, we go and stand in line for Below, and I sit down, I play it. Maybe I'm just I don't get it, but I don't understand why everyone's freaking the fuck out about that game.
It's the Dark Soul people.
Yeah, the game is difficult. It has procedurally generated levels and enemies and traps and all this other crap. But aesthetically, graphically, yeah, it's artsy. I get that, but the mechanics are all right, and I just don't get it. Maybe it's over my head, and maybe I'm not like its audience, but I just don't understand why people are freaking out over that game.
For people who haven't actually or don't know anything about this game, it's basically top-down view. You're a little guy, and you explore. You go into this cave and you explore. Every time you die, it starts you almost at the beginning of the cave, and as Tim said, it kind of randomly generates the rooms, the floors, the enemies. There's not a whole lot of color, a lot of darks. The rooms are grayed out until you start exploring. Randomly generated spikes, poison darts, stuff like that. And really, your objective is there's no story. You're just wandering around aimlessly to, I guess, eventually reach some objective. But it didn't really entice me at all when I watched him play.
Yeah, we have off-screen footage of it, so we're gonna put it up on our YouTube channel. But yeah, it's
the game of the show.
Yeah, literally, people were up in arms over it, and they're like, "You have to go play this game." And I don't know. I just didn't understand why people were so freaking out. Like, it's not a bad game, but it's just I have no interest in playing it. So.
Well, here's a fair question to ask you. You're talking about the whole game of the show. What would have been? What was your dark horse, or what was the one that surprised you, like your wild card that you were like, wow, I didn't really know too much about this game, but it caught me off guard, and this is something that I could, play and get into.
I would have to say, well, I liked Evolve, but one game that I think this is pretty unanimous probably for Justin and I, so I'll let Justin go first.
We talking about the Midnight City one? Because that was the one that I think was... Because I already knew I was going to like the one I think you're thinking of, so we'll get to that.
All right, no, yeah, well...
This is a dark horse. I didn't know anything about it going in, and I thought it was a really good game.
Oh yeah, Organic Panic.
Again,
yeah, it's being published by Midnight City. It's coming out on Steam. I think it's coming out this year, but the game, it's a physics-based puzzler where there's 4 different. It's like you play as produce, and there's 4 different characters. They all have different abilities, but it's insane. When the world is entirely destructible. It's really soul-crushing platforming. It's like Super Meat Boy. With more I'm not gonna say more puzzle elements, but it's a very intelligently made game, and I think if anyone that likes platforming games like Super Meat Boy is gonna totally love the game. So that was definitely caught me off guard, and I'm glad we actually stayed and played it.
Yeah, I agree. I let him kind of get the hands on playing it, but just watching him, I thought it was absolutely incredible. Definitely a game I would play, blew me away. Now for the game that actually was my game of the show. I finally got the chance to play Goat Simulator.
Oh no.
Dude, it's every bit as ridiculous as you possibly could think it is. I start my little guy and I just grab onto a car with my tongue and he's dragging me around, launches me halfway across the map. I go into a house, I'm headbutting everything. All the physics are completely fucked up and just shit gets launched everywhere. In random fashion.
Yeah, no, that game was fucking.
That hasn't been out for that too long, right?
No, it's been out for a month or 2.
Yeah, no, I think it's been out for maybe a month.
Yeah, but that game was fucking.
You Michael Bay'd it.
Yeah, I fucking headbutted a gas station and just exploded and just says Michael Bay.
Is that just PC only, or are they?
Yeah, it's PC. I hope it gets moved.
I hope. Yeah, I think the game is really popular. I don't see why they couldn't port it over to Xbox One or PS4. But I'm trying to think of other games. All Midnight City games weren't bad. I liked Crowdscape. I liked Video Ball a lot. I really hope that comes to consoles. I think that'd be a really fun party game.
Oh, the one that all the Midnight City guys were playing on the projector?
Yeah, at the party. That's the one they were playing on the projector. That game was fun as
hell. Yeah, actually, that did look like a lot of fun.
No, that game was ridiculous. I really enjoyed that.
Do they have any hotline?
Yeah, Devolver Digital was there. I didn't get a chance to play Hotline Miami 2, which, well, whatever. You can't do everything you want at these shows, unfortunately. What else did we play?
We hit up random booths, we hit the Adult Swim one, because somebody wants to play Adventure Time and stuff like that.
was like a fucking endless runner with like the most unresponsive controls in the world, and like they had this like weird casing on like the iPad, so like fucking I couldn't even hear it because like the fucking headphones kept coming out. I'm just like, fuck this. I just like put it down. He's like, oh, take a card. I'm like, whatever.
Oh,
I beat the game.
I know what I want to bring up. We finally got to play the I can't say it.
Oculus VR. But we're gonna well, there's one other game, and then I have a quick story I want to tell.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So we were standing in line for Below, and we were standing in front. Below shared a booth with, they shared a space with Double Fine. So we're standing in line, and there was this game called, what was it, like, Cappy something. It was a game where you fucking just kill people with golf balls.
It was like PGA Superstars or something like that. It was something.
No,
it was 3 letters and then it was a word.
It was Cappy something. It was like Cappy whatever. It's a game made by Double Fine or it's published by Double Fine, and you just like kill people with golf balls. But it's like it kind of has like it's a 4-player like fighter, but it was actually really fun. But while we were staying in line for Below, I checked this out, and then we were done, and they were walking, and there was a gentleman behind us who was asking someone about the game, and then Justin turns to him and goes, he's like, no, it's not the line for this game, it's the line for Below. And Justin looks at me, and I'm completely mortified because Justin just said a very dickish thing to Tim Schafer. And he had no idea who the fuck he was. So Tim Schafer, if you're watching, I apologize on behalf of Justin.
I'm sorry.
What did he say? What did Schaefer say?
And no, Schaefer looks at me and goes, oh, I didn't know that. You're standing in front of my game. And just walked away. And I was like, thanks, Justin. I wanted to get a fucking picture with him. And he just walked away and never saw him again.
And you were like, you realized that was Tim Schafer. I was like, that was fucking Tim Schafer? Shit.
Yeah, I was like, great. Thanks, dickhead.
Tapped apologizes.
So, yeah. I was like, what the fuck, man? Because Justin just said it and he turned around and I was just like... I was like, oh, you're fucking so stupid. But moving forward.
Gaming personalities. Speaking about Tim Schafer's, who'd you end up meeting for gaming personalities, and what were they like?
We will touch base on that, but I want to kind of get into the Oculus thing real quick, just because I know we talked about it, 2 podcasts ago? We talked about VR and how all that was like all the hullabaloo. So we were at the Hyperkin booth because they're developing a peripheral that is supposed to work with Oculus, so it's a light gun.
Okay.
So it's supposed to work and they were demoing Half-Life 2. So we also took video of this. This will be on our YouTube page. You can see it. You put the Oculus on, and then they hand you the gun, and there's little analog nubs on it that like you move around like strafe and stuff, and you're supposed to aim with the gun. They said that the peripheral that they made was only like 3 weeks old, and you could tell. Like, it's cool in concept, but like the calibration. Even it's funny. One of the videos, it's like, oh yeah, it fucks with the Oculus. And I'm like, at least they know it. Like, they kind of acknowledge that it has problems, so they weren't trying to hide it and be like, oh, you just suck. Like, you don't know how to use it. But it was cool. But the one that we were using, apparently, it was like the original model of the Oculus, where it has like the flat front. It's not like the curved one. So the display inside it was ugly as fuck. It was really bad.
It was cool, but yeah, it was grainy. I could just make out all the individual like dots.
Yeah, it was very like the display inside wasn't too but the idea of like, you know, the head tracking, all that stuff, looking around and turning and moving, and the peripheral though, just I wish they just would have gave, like, I know they were demoing it and they want people to get excited for it, but I wish they would have had like an option to be like, here's just a controller.
Yeah, that was kind of rough.
Yeah, so it wasn't bad. Justin
almost ate shit.
Yeah, Justin at one point was just like, dude, the guys before us were fucking, dude, they had jelly legs. Like, they were like, I should have filmed them because like their knees were just like shaking, and the guy at the booth said that they almost had a guy fall through it like the day before, like just fell over.
No,
because it was so real. Like,
yeah, he apparently walked off the cliff and then bent over because he thought he was falling, and he said the guy who worked the booth said he had to catch him because he almost just went through the entire demo table.
Yeah,
Does it feel that real or?
Well,
It messes with your head
yeah,
pretty
'cause,
bad.
like, yeah, for me, it's like I wanted to like see if I would feel the same sensation. So like there's a part where you can just like walk off onto like the train tracks. So it's like probably in the game, it's probably a good like 15, 20 foot drop, and it was weird just because like it's tracking, like your eyes are like you're looking through it. So like when you go down, it's like it scans your eyes really quickly, and it's like it's a little disorienting, but. You know, the headset itself was comfortable. Like I didn't feel like I was gonna get nauseous or anything. We only played it for a couple minutes, but overall, I didn't think it was, I didn't think it was anything special. But it's not. It kind of solidifies my argument that I don't think it's really gonna set the world on fire.
But it's not like 2 billion good.
It's only 1.9 billion good.
Okay, all right.
1.9 billion pesos. But yeah, shit. What else did we do, man? We did a lot of stuff.
I did mostly trolling on Friday.
Gaming personalities.
Gaming personalities. All right. So Friday night we went to the IGN Midnight City drink up at the Harpoon Brewery. Also, thank you IGN Midnight City. It was fun. They paid for all of our drinks.
Because you were that good, or they just pay for everybody's
That
drinks?
was
No.
if you got in.
If you
It was
got
open.
in,
It was
if you
open
got-
bar,
Yeah, it was open bar.
How'd you get in? You
We
just.
got there 2 hours early.
Oh wow.
and just started drinking at the Harpoon Brewery.
Was there a pretty long line, or?
Oh yeah,
Dude, there was like 300 people outside.
and
We were inside already, so we were like VIP.
they didn't like let past up to a certain time period. They didn't let anyone in, and they didn't know what they were doing. So it's like people that like us that are inside trying to get into the event, and like you can't stand in the way. Like we're not sure what the order that we're gonna let people in, and then eventually they're like, all right, everyone in here is good, and like a few people outside are good. Everyone else need to go. Need to get out of here.
Yeah,
It was rough.
Yeah, it was kind of. I was kind of anxious because I was like, "What's going on? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?" But we were able to get in. So people we met there. Greg Miller was there. We met him. Took pictures. Damon Hatfield was there. Marty Sliva. Mitchell Dyer. Who else? Tim
Casey
Geddes.
Lynch.
Yeah, Casey Lynch. Tim Geddes. Who else? I feel like we're missing someone.
I thought we hit all the IGN guys.
Yeah, no, we did. And then after that, we went to Game Scoop at back at the convention center, which was pretty cool.
You saw a blonde nerd, right?
Yeah, I got to see. Well, yeah, no, you did too.
I took-
You
I took a picture with it, too.
took pictures.
Who else? Andrew Goldfarb ran him at the 2K booth. Other than that, I'm just trying to think. You think anyone else, Justin?
No, I apparently don't recognize most celebrities that isn't
You tell Tim
That
Schafer to
is-
fuck off.
that isn't Greg Miller.
So
So like, what was?
yeah, sorry, I mentioned it earlier, but Major Nelson, Larry Hurd.
What was like? How were they to you guys? Like, how did that just like set up like the opening conversation? You just walk up to them like, "What's going on?" Or
Yeah, basically.
You see them, and they don't like. They're not like. The thing is, like they knew there was a lot of people there, so they won't sit there and engage in like ridiculously long conversations. So like, if you want to say something to them, be like, "Hey, how's it going?" "Hey, Greg, nice to meet you." Introduce yourself. They're not gonna like scoff at you, but you also have to understand that these guys are there to work, and then they also had Game Scoop after, so like they were trying to have fun, but also knew that like we can't go too crazy. We need to kind of mingle as much as we can, and then we got to go back to the convention center. And but yeah, they were cool. So you'd walk up to them and be like, "Hey man, can I take a picture with you?" Or "Hey man, what do you think of this?" And they'll sit there and talk with you. Like Justin and Casey Lynch had a conversation about metal for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was kind of awesome. We got a lot of new bands to check out.
Did they remember you from your prior experiences at IGN and E3?
I'd say the only person who remembered me by name was Casey.
Yeah.
I walked up and he's like, "Damn, what's going on, man?" I'm like, nothing much, dude. Like, how's everything going? He's like, "It's crazy." And we talked, and he showed me around all the games, and it was cool. So some of the other guys, like, they say they remember you, but it's total bullshit, and it's fine. Like, I'm not gonna be like, "You don't remember me." Fuck,
I
never
will
reading IGN again.
remember
They'll remember
you.
this. As long
Yeah,
as
they'll
they keep
remember
rolling.
Horse.
They'll remember Horseman.
Oh yeah, how did that go? How did that bode with the IGN team with the horse mask? You wore it, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I wore
Well, the
it.
funny thing is that
A second person
the
showed
second
up.
person showed up with a horse mask, and like Justin just was like, he's like, oh yeah, he like threw the horse mask on. He walked over and he was just like, put up your dukes.
Oh yeah, who didn't? I think somebody I made Facebook friends with took a bunch of shots of me and him just kind of like
Yeah, you'll have to-
slapping each other.
You'll have to get those, and then you guys hugged and made
All the horse mask escapades will be on Tap Gaming.
immortalized.
You were horsing around.
Just a wee bit.
Anybody?
What?
Anybody?
No.
Ow, why the long face?
What? Horsing around.
But yeah, what else? So that night was awesome, and then see Saturday. I don't know if I saw anyone else.
Besides Tim.
Yeah, that was short lived.
He was
Anyone ask for your autograph?
he was coming back to that booth at 2 p.m. We left below at 1:30. We could have just stuck around.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have loved to fucking see you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Tim Schafer. I totally didn't realize that was you from behind. You look way different in
It'd be
person.
great. He just goes up to you, goes, "Go fuck yourself."
pretty much.
So, trying to think.
I mean, I got to check out one of the things I actually got to check out because I lost sight of you. I wandered over to the Microsoft booth, did some Twitch trolling with the horse mask, but also kind of wandered my horse face over to Project Spark and was watching the guy give a demo of how the game is created, you know, the actual models that are already in place, the dynamic in which you can create worlds, that everything he was showing was user created and could be created by any one of us. It looked cool. I don't think the footage that they were showing was anything that really impressed me. I feel like they just chose like a lot of just bad footage. They didn't really kind of get into what I wanted to see, which was, here's a world, I can modify it, this is how I modify it, this is my user interface, these are all my different scales, lands, this, that, these components, those components. He didn't really get into that. And I don't know, I wasn't really that impressed by Project Spark, at least from what I saw so far.
Yeah, I played the beta for Spark, and it's fun, but it's nothing that really interests me. Like it's for me, it's like Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
It's like I liked playing certain parts of Little Big Planet, but like I just don't have any interest in creating levels and shit like that.
I've never been that kind of gamer myself either.
So it's cool that it's an option for, you know, the people out there who like to be able to take, you know, like a humongous packet of assets and just kind of like create your own world, your own story. I think it's cool that you can do that, but for me, it's not something that I'm really gonna dig into.
You a creator, Chris?
Not really.
I like seeing what other people do. Like when I played Little Big Planet, I'm not gonna sit here and make a game. That's just not me. But I enjoy playing what other people make, and I can respect that. So I like games like that in the aspects of you're constantly getting new kinds of content. It's rated. Hey, check out this done by that user. These are the really important, you know, these are the top things this week. I like that because you get to play a game in entirely new aspects. You didn't know you could play a game before, but the actual creation part of a game like Little Big Planet or Project Spark I have no interest in whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know. I know Microsoft wanted to be there, but I don't know why they were.
Yeah, there was nothing there. It was a bunch of Xbox One games.
Titanfall,
Rise, Forza
5.
Games that you've already played.
Well,
Be
it's like-
excited about.
Yeah, it was kind of. They had nothing set up for 360, which I think at this point they're just like, they don't even want to acknowledge that the 360 still exists. But the one game that I wanted to try, I just didn't get a chance to, was well, there's a lot of them, but the one that in particular was Trials Fusion, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around a $40 price tag on that game. But whatever.
Did they have Titanfall for 360 or no?
No, they had no 360 stuff there.
Oh, okay.
The only thing that was 360 that was there was. It was actually funny. All the Xbox One games I played were on 360 controllers.
Well, that was because they were USB hooked up to a computer.
All PC stuff. But I know, but it was. I just thought that was funny. But what else?
The one game I actually really wanted to check out, because I never really looked too much into it. I wanted to go to WildStar and just see what it is, because I've heard a lot about
it's
it.
It's an MMO. But
I know it is an MMO. I just wanted to. I keep thinking in my head that one day I'm going to find this MMO that's going to blow my mind and not bore me after 20 hours, hitting half level cap. And I've played, I don't know, 5, 6 of them at this point, and I've left every one. I don't know. I'd like to find an MMO that I really like and may want to stick with for a longer duration of time, but I just don't think I'll ever have that in me. Too much, I need to be playing too many different types of games quick.
Yeah, I don't know. With MMOs, it's always. I know most of them are free to play now, but I just don't really care for a subscription fee. Like with Elder Scrolls Online, first off, I don't have a computer that can even come close to running it. I know it's coming out to Xbox One and PS4, but not paying $60 for a game. And then having to have, I know with Elder Scrolls on PS4, they said you don't need a PlayStation Plus subscription, but I have it already. And then you have to pay $15 a month to play the game. It's kind of obscene.
But it's been that model. I mean, it's kind of changing now, but it's been that model forever.
Dude, that's $180 a year you're spending on one fucking game.
I'm still paying for Phantasy Star Online for Dreamcast.
No, you're not.
Dude, that's fascinating. That game got shut down like 15 years ago.
But they still send me a bill.
Yeah,
they still send me a bill.
You're the sole contributor to the
You were
money.
the victim of a phishing scam.
Oh shit! I gotta check my email.
Yeah, but fuck man, what else did we see? Can't believe I'm drawing blanks. We had a.
You met when we were jousting.
Hip Hop Gamer.
Yeah, fuck, I forgot. We at the Electronic Consumer Association booth, they had an inflatable joust arena, and Justin and I jousted, and he had the horse mask on, which was awesome.
You can see a video of that.
Yeah, we have a video of that on YouTube.
We got a full length one.
Yeah, we got a full length one on the GoPro that we're gonna. Looks a lot better. But yeah, got a chance to meet Hip Hop Gamer. Fucking really cool dude. Super passionate about what he does, and he just has like unlimited amounts of energy and charisma. So he was cool. He was commentating the whole match between us.
He lost his mind when he realized that I was gonna be wearing the horse mask. He's like, "No, man, we got to make this work. We got to get on your head."
Man, you got lucky, man, because I thought they were gonna. I don't think I think if he wasn't there, they wouldn't have let you do it. Is
he West Coast, East Coast?
I think he's East Coast. I think he's based out of New York. Could be wrong, but follow him on Twitter, Hip Hop Gamer. Good guy.
Nice.
So we did that.
What about all right? Here's just like a random thing.
Yeah, you guys ask away, ask some questions.
Like the people, like you did a room share with people. How was that experience? Just doing like a.
I can talk more about that because of last year, but we stayed with my friends.
Okay. Last year or this
year?
Oh, okay.
So we did not do a room share this year. I actually did do a room share last year, last minute, because I decided I didn't want to drive an hour into Boston both days, and if I wasn't able to go out and get hammered with all these awesome people, I was going to be upset. So went on the forums, did a room share, met 5 new people last year. It was a great time. Made friends, still stayed in touch. I ran into them at PAX. That's about it. But
yeah, some of the people we met at the drink up, they came to the room last night and had some drinks.
What, Greg Miller? No.
Yeah, I wish Greg.
We think that they stayed in the same hotel with us because when we checked out this morning, we saw Damon.
Really?
Yeah, in the lobby. He's like, "Oh, you're going home?" Like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, me too." So.
That would have been nice to catch up with them. Imagine an after party in their freaking hotel room.
Fucking just tons of cocaine and hookers.
Just whiskey all over
Well,
the place.
speaking of funny things, after Game Scoop, Justin and I were going outside to catch a cab, and we ran into Marty Sliva again, and he was just like, "Hey, what's going on, guys?" And we're like, "Nothing." He's like, and we're like, "What are you guys up to?" We're like, "Oh, we're probably gonna go back to the hotel, and then we're gonna go out." And he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, I'm trying to find this place. I'm not gonna name addresses, but he's like, yeah, my data's all fucked up on my phone. I'm just walking around." So I did like a soft reset on his phone, and it didn't fix it. But I was like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just going to this place." So we actually like escorted Marty Sliva to whatever, thing he was going to. So that was cool. Not many people can say they've escorted an IGN editor somewhere.
That's really kick-ass.
On foot. So.
Could you tell like the city of Boston was pretty well populated? Like I'm sure you probably went to some random bars, like more so because of the convention. Or...
Oh yeah, dude! Over 3 days, like tens of thousands of people show up. So the streets are flooded with people, and most people just keep their badges on. So like you walk into a place and you'll see half a dozen people wearing PAX badges, and all throughout the hotel. Most of the hotel that we were staying in was almost all PAX people.
And I think it's awesome. Like, you're on into a bar, and you normally see a random group of people, and you just kind of keep to yourself. You walk into a bar, you're at a con, you see a bunch of PAX people, and you're like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing, man? What'd you enjoy?" And you actually, like, you meet new people.
Yeah, it's an immediate
like,
conversation starter.
I absolutely love the gaming community. I love the passion of all of us, the fans that go to these things, and I enjoy just talking to them. We spent most of Friday night, Saturday night, just drinking up with a bunch of random other PAX people, and we had some of the best times of our life.
Yeah, so it's something that you just go there and you have a good time, and you, like I said, like when I did like that pre-PAX thing, if you go with an open mind, you can have a really good time. If you go there and you want to be a fucking little shitbag, yeah, you'll have a shitty time. It's all in how you approach it. So if you, like I said, want to have a good time, it'll happen.
I do have another question that comes to mind. Right, just hit me. Greg Miller said this, and I guess there was a guy dressed in Octodad attire,
Yeah, there was.
and he was being like a dickhead, like he didn't want to take a picture with Greg Miller. Like,
Really?
that's what he said. That's what Greg Miller said on like one of his tweets that I read somewhere. Not like, he said it verbatim what I said. He just said he wanted to take a picture with the guy, and the guy didn't want to take a picture.
Yeah, I didn't see Octo.
I happened to see Octodad. He had just like a little kind of orange octopus mask, and he just had like really long orange sleeves, and just kind of like flailed them around as he was walking. But I didn't know that he denied Greg Miller photo access. That's
kind of fucked.
You're kind of an asshole by doing that.
What's the point of cosplay if you're not going to take pictures with other people?
Yeah, you go like cosplay. Like when you go to a con and you're dressed, and if you're cosplaying, I said it to. Well, we were sitting with a few friends in the food court, and like she saw our friend Carly saw a cosplay of Elizabeth, and she's like, "No, I'm like, just go up and talk to him."
Yeah,
what's worse?
the whole point.
They're gonna say if they say no, then when I'm done eating, I'll come find you. Most of the people just don't care.
If anything, I think that's like a compliment. Like when I went to New York Comic Con,
well, they do it because they want
attention.
So they do it for that reason.
I was actually really surprised that people wanted, like regular people, just wanted to either take a photo with me wearing the horse mask or do something with me involving the horse mask. I was like, it's a horse mask. It's nothing special, but people are still like, that's awesome. One guy came up to us that when we were at Midnight City, and he's like, "Dude, I totally get it. You got the whole friggin' like creeper thing down. You're just trolling everybody. You have the best costume at PAX." And he thought it was amazing.
A couple of things.
That guy was also really fucking drunk.
Yeah, I know he was.
A couple of things to read off of that. So
when you said that, it took him like 4 minutes. I got it, man. Yeah, I get it. I'm like,
so
this dude off.
So, were you surprised? Like, did it blow up the way that you wanted, or were you surprised at the attention that you got with the horse mask?
I got the attention that I wanted. Saturday, not so much, because I noticed pretty much in about the first half hour that
there was about 4.
There was way too many.
So day one
it was apparently me, a chick, and that dude and his family, and that was about it. But we ran into the dude and his family like outside. There'll be photos of us having fisticuffs with one another, and
I'm gonna talk about that guy in a second.
Then there was the other one that you threw up with me and the chick, which I saw her once we left the IGN drink up.
Yeah, it's before GamesCube.
But I mean, really, like, I just wore the horse mask. I would stand in crowded areas, and I would just stare people down. I wouldn't move. I would literally just stare at people. If they acknowledged me,
I fucking love that.
I would. If they acknowledged me, I would continue to stare at them
His head would just oscillate.
my head would just turn towards them. I still think, my favorite thing was hitting the guy at Twitch. That was so funny. Guy's just playing a random game I never saw over at the Microsoft booth, and I get this close to his head. I was in the background. The Microsoft guys are cracking up. They're like, get closer, get closer. I get this close to him. The guy who's playing the game can't stop laughing while he's playing the game. Not to mention he had, 70, 100 different Twitch people watching that Twitch feed at the exact moment, probably also laughing their ass off. It was a really good time. I enjoyed doing this very much.
What would you think if you were in that position of the gamer playing the game and he just came up behind you in a horse mask?
Well, first off, I think it's hilarious, but I don't know if it would have startled me or not. I don't know if I would have expected that.
Well, the guy that I tried to hit on Saturday didn't flinch at all, which was very depressing. Because I tried it again, same feed.
But before we get too far away, the guy that you saw outside the convention center that you did the thing with, remember the picture he showed us?
Yeah.
Like this guy, first off, talking about just people letting their guard down. We didn't no idea who the fuck this guy was. And he takes out his phone and starts showing us pictures, and he shows us this one where he was with his fiance, and he was at this Titanic exhibit.
How old was this guy?
He's probably in his 40s.
Yeah, he had 2 kids, something like that.
And he was like, oh yeah, he's like, we went to the science museum, and they had this staged area that looked like the cover of Titanic, where it's Leo's holding the girl. And it's him behind his fiance with the horse mask on, fucking.
No, he looked like his pelvic area was just thrusted out.
Yeah, it was no, but he had a hand on her. And he had a horse mask on, and it's just the picture he took, and I was like, "That's fucking awesome." Should have sent that to me.
That all happened because of those other people were like, "Yeah, horse mask guy, put it on," and then that guy was like, "Oh, you got a horse mask too?"
He's like, "Hold on a second." So
good people.
Yeah, that was fun. Oh, a couple more games that we didn't get a chance to check out, but looked really cool. That DDR 16-bit.
Yeah, that was
Are you
weird.
kidding me? Not Dance Dance.
No, it was a dungeon crawler that you play with a DDR pad.
In order to move your character to the next spot.
You step.
You actually, I think you had to do a dance. You had to hit the next 4 in a row to actually move them to the next spot or something like that. Or maybe she was just. I think she was just stepping too much because she kept step back, step
to attack,
back.
You had to jump and hit 2 at the same time.
Okay.
But,
you kind of pulled me a little away from that quicker than I wanted to.
Oh, boo fucking
I would have played it.
You could have went back, bitch.
We're doing other shit. I want a Ghost Simulator.
Justin has a metal DDR pad, just for the record.
I will be getting back into that this summer.
But, shit.
Words.
Could you give me a refill?
I could.
Thank you.
Chris, do you have any questions?
Can't think of any.
Okay, here we go. So you've never been to a gaming convention, right?
Yeah, yes.
Well, I went to PAX with them
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right. What were your thoughts when you went to that?
It was fun. It was a really long day, but it was fun.
Yeah, I remember at the end of the day, you and I were both upstairs, watching a concert, and we're just it's the loudest fucking thing on the planet. We're just
Yeah, I remember I was standing in the back because somebody stole our seats, and
yeah, I remember that fucking pricks.
Do you have any regrets, Tim, about not doing something that you wanted to do there?
Not really, because I would have loved to have played Wolfenstein. I would have loved to have played Evil Within. But like I said, you have the expo floor is only open 10 to 6. There's stuff that happens after that. There's panels. You can go to the retro arcade. You can go check out some of the vendors that aren't on the expo floor. But that's it. So we were there Friday, Saturday. We had 16 hours collectively to do everything we wanted. Spending 5 hours in line to play a game for 15 minutes. It's a little disproportionate.
Now I've been like reading up a little bit because it's kind of recent, but like people are saying that Evil Within isn't as scary as they like thought. Is that true, or do you?
Well,
Like-
because I when I was at the when we were at the IGN drink up, I talked to Mitch Dyer about it because he played it.
Now that's by. Now, just for the record, isn't that by one of the people who worked on Resident Evil, like
It's the
the
creator,
original?
the creator of Resident Evil, Shinji Mikami. It's his new
Yeah.
game. It's
Yeah.
being published by Bethesda, which that has no really bearing on it being scary or not. But yeah, he wasn't like dissenting on it. He wasn't like saying the game was bad. It's just like it's not what they expected. So
Like more action oriented, or
well, they said it was like it was supposed to be more like Resident Evil, but I don't know. There was an article on IGN that I kind of just skimmed over, and they just said that like some of the mechanics weren't really that tight, and like it wasn't necessarily as scary as they wanted it to be. So, but
word? Any regrets for you, Justin? Things that you wish you could have done at PAX. Things that, you know.
Things I wish I could have done at PAX.
Okay.
let's not go there. Orgy.
I was gonna say pretty much number one on the list would have been to try to fuck somebody with the horse mask on.
Horse fucking.
But actually, joking aside, things I regret. No, I don't really like have any regrets. It was such a good time all around. The only thing that killed me was just the fact that all the blinds were just huge. Even like some of the below was like an hour and a half. It's an indie game, and it was an hour and a half wait. It just
Well, that was only because of
the hype.
the hype. Like IGN, like their first day was like go play below. So like, and we were talking to I was talking to like one of the lead designers, and he was like, yeah, yesterday like. We had a good turnout. We had some people here, and all the seats were always filled, but the wait time was like, however long, like maybe 5-10 minutes. And that's another thing that I know at PAX, they try not to be too pushy, and they really want to cater to the fans because it is a fan show. But dude, regulate the fucking demo time. Like they're like, we'll let them do whatever the fuck they want, dude. There was a guy sitting there for fucking like 40 minutes playing. It's like, dude, get the fuck up.
That's messed up.
It's like, I understand you don't want to like step on people's toes, but like if you say, hey man, there's fucking 70 people in line behind you who want to play the game, like regulate it. And they're like, oh, well, we don't want to cut people's time short. It's like, dude, you'll figure out what the fucking that game's about in like 5 minutes.
I definitely feel like if you're doing something like that, you gotta have shorter tech demos.
Well, every other place regulates it. It wasn't like I wasn't at 2K and they're like, oh, you just want to play Evolve for another hour? Yeah, fuck these other people standing in line who've been standing there for fucking 4 hours.
E3 must have been intense with that.
E3, it's if you have an appointment, they're like, you have from now to now, not a minute before, not a minute after, because you're done. They kick you out. They bring the next people in. So it's like it is systematic, but. The thing is, they give you a slice of a game that you can finish. So it's like, here's a vertical slice of this game. You have a half an hour, play it. And then when you're done, you can ask questions, do other stuff like that, and then you move on. But
Which I like. Even last year, I got, first thing I hit last year was Last of Us. And it was a 30-minute demo. It was either that or it was 15. I think it was 30.
I want to say it was 30 because the wait was...
Yeah, it was a 30-minute demo.
But they also had like 20 TVs set up.
Yeah, they had a lot of TV set up, and it was like 30 minutes. Because I was if you beat the demo, you got a foam brick, which I wanted. And I came like less than a minute away from where I needed to be. And I was like, they're like, oh, it's over. And I was like, how close am I to the end? He's like, oh, you're right at the end. I was like, but I don't get a brick? He's like, no, you didn't finish it. I was like, can I just... He's like, no, you gotta go.
Kiss my ass.
I was like, you son of a bitch.
Now, one thing I did see, the blonde gaming nerd, she like hit you up on Facebook.
She
right?
hit me up. Well, I actually, in an attempt to just reach out and network myself better, started talking to her on, I liked blondenerd.com, and I actually started talking to her. We became Facebook friends, and I just...
Lots of dick pics.
No dick pics. No, I've just always kind of loosely kept in touch with her, and I know she was going to be at PAX East, and I said, hey, I want to run into you. this is what I'm wearing, such and such, and we ended up spotting her at the Game Scoop, and I made sure just to at least say hello. We talked a little bit about games. It was late. It was midnight or later. I don't even remember. There was so much drinking that night.
What, Game Scoop?
Yeah.
No, it started at 10:30, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was,
the show ended they gave
5 extra minutes, but they gave 5 extra minutes at like 11:27. So he kicked him out. He's like, hasn't even been. It's not 11:35. Yeah, he's like, I told you I was going to give you 5 minutes.
Yeah, that enforcer.
Oh, there was a guy like
they have
like
moderators that go into for the panels because, like I said, the show ended an hour or two earlier this year, and the enforcer for Game Scoop was like, nope, you're done, get out, and like Greg's like, okay. He's like, all right, guys, guess it's show over, and there was like.
Miller was.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, when they do the live podcasts, like, you get up and you ask questions. So, like, we were standing in line to go ask a question, and he was just like, they're like, all right. They came up, and there was just like the enforcer was like, everyone get the fuck out.
How far away were you?
Oh, God, we had a while.
Fucking 15
Oh, okay, all right.
We weren't making it.
If we were like second, like if we were like almost up, I would have been like, suck my dick. I would have been like, I would ask the question and be like, you guys can answer it. You can fucking hold on a second.
I think the mistake that we made was we should just got up there and I came up with a question. I could have did that in line. I should just got up there and just got in line.
We didn't know what we wanted to talk about. We were kind of deliberating. All like 7 of us were sitting there like, oh, think of a good question.
What was your question?
It was something we already talked about. The presence.
And we were also. I was going to ask something about Trials Fusion, but whatever. Yeah, dude. When you drink like
9 beers.
You drink like 9 or 10 beers in a couple hours, and then you walk back. It was kind of.
So this question, I guess I pose to you both. What are the chances that you think the big three will be there next year in full force?
No, I think they definitely will be.
Absolutely, I think they will be. I think we're going to see most of the developers that were normally there next year.
Now, do you think that will like thoroughly entice people like in bigger crowds to show up? Like, do you think that was one of the things that was missing? Like, if you had the big three there this year, do you think that would have fully swayed it?
Well, the tickets for Friday and Saturday were sold out.
Yeah. But I mean, like, do you think, like, because you were saying, like, the enthusiasm this year wasn't, you think, on its peak and compared to last year?
No, it just, I don't know, it seems, I'm not going to say it's felt kind of like sterile, but like it just didn't seem as like animated as it was last year, and I think it was just because having the big companies there get people excited.
Also, swag sucked this year.
Oh yeah, the swag bag. Next year, honestly, it's just gonna be a plastic bag.
No, I was gonna say, but a thing of magic cards.
Yeah, they're not even gonna use bags. They're just gonna hand you a deck and just be like, here.
Because that's what I seem to get every year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, trying to think, anything else for PAX we want to get in?
No, I think I've hit my entire adventure.
Yeah, I really can't think of anything else.
So
it was a fucking awesome show, and yeah. So I'm excited for next year. Let's go to PAX South too.
Woo! San Antonio.
Alex would call it PAX East.
I was gonna say
East South.
I don't know. I'd be more interested in going to
Mike,
Prime.
I'm sorry.
To Prime, but that's because I have a friend that actually lives out in Seattle. As
do I, but tickets to San Antonio are cheaper than they are to Seattle.
Justin, you and I, PAX Prime.
Let's do it.
August 30th.
You gotta schmooze and you gotta mingle.
Dude, I'm the cameraman. That's
all right. You can be the cameraman.
You just gotta be the talent, the on-air talent.
I can be the on-air talent.
Always out, trying to get out of doing work.
hey, the guy behind the camera is very important. All right.
As long as he's getting the good footage.
Hey, to be fair, you guys were there, and I felt like the guy who's in like the tractor trailer doing like the footage, like the editor, like when you do like wrestling shows, like they have like the trailers where like they have the freaking broadcast in the trailer and the. Yeah,
we got that with all the TV monitors.
I literally, like, you guys would post pictures, and I was like, all right, I gotta turn this into a video. Or you guys would do something, like, you'd post a video, I'm like, I gotta post this video.
We'll trade next year. I'll sit at home on my couch in my underwear making slideshows, and you can carry a fucking 40-pound bag around with equipment for 13 hours.
You gotta joust me, though.
Deal.
So, all right. Yeah, so I guess I kind of... Chris, did you think of any questions you wanted to ask us?
No.
Think of something, man. Come on.
All right. I don't think this company was there, but yeah, that's not helping me at all.
Could you play Dynasty Warriors? No.
Yeah, ask that to
yeah.
like one of the IGN people.
Yeah, Tecmo Koei or Koei Tecmo. Or
Was Koei there?
No, they were not. They
Yeah,
were not
right.
there. They were not there.
I saw this on Amazon this morning. It was I think it was like pre-order the Borderlands, the pre-sequel or something.
Yep.
Is anything about that there?
They had
Oh,
a
yeah.
booth, but yeah, I wasn't able to get into
That was
it.
that was a 5 hour, like 4 or 5 hour wait.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, one other thing that I forgot about. I don't know who at this table is excited for it, but the Retron 5 is coming out hopefully at the end of this month or early May. But the price went up. It's $150 now.
Actually, I would have loved to have consolidated my equipment. I mean, I would have kept my systems, of course, but it would have been nice to
Well,
actually
just
like
use
have one unit there, HDMI out, and
Save states.
not have to worry about like
I'm not
rigging
gonna
up
lie.
like composite.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I didn't want to say it to the guy at the show, but I'll say it now just because I'm a coward like that. That controller is pretty fucking beat.
Is that it was?
The-
It looked like a fucking brick with like curves.
But it's a weird analog stick. The buttons really aren't they're not incredibly responsive. But I don't know. I might still buy one. $150 for what it can do is still pretty remarkable. But the fact that it's just like they haven't been saying anything about it. That shit was supposed to come out last year.
What games can it? What systems?
It does NES, Famicom, Super Nintendo, Super Famicom, Genesis, Mega Drive, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy. It has HDMI out, has save states built into the system, so you can save it right to the interface. You don't have to worry about like cartridges and shit like that. What else? It does. It has 2 Bluetooth controllers that use like proprietary Bluetooth technology, so they won't fuck with anything else in your house. But yeah.
The idea is cool.
So Chris, any other questions? I feel bad.
I can't really think of anything.
So how do you feel about Bruce Lee in UFC?
I don't play UFC games. So
You,
I
would,
think
you, wouldn't,
that
you,
hurts.
wouldn't, you wouldn't pay UFC now that you get to be Bruce Lee?
no.
That totally enticed Chris.
But speaking of Dinosaur Warriors, you got a chance to play it yet?
A while ago.
Is it
It's
Giants Warriors 6 meet 7?
Yeah. I got to play the PS4.
New costumes.
Sadly, yes.
Talk about PS4.
So, you want me to talk about Retrogun instead?
Resogun.
Sorry,
Oh no, yeah,
Retrogun.
yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Side scroller. It's got really nice particle effects. Every time you beat a stage, everything explodes.
Very pretty.
So, yeah, it's fun.
Did you download Dead Nation?
I do not.
You should. I think that's free too.
I thought I looked that up and it wasn't. Maybe I'm wrong.
I can give you my login credentials and you can download it and play it if you'd like.
Double check.
Can I get your login credentials?
No.
No, you cannot. All right, so yeah, we're done talking about PAX. So we're gonna move on to all user submitted, not user. I keep saying user. Fan submitted questions.
The user?
The users. Alrighty, first one. Oh yeah, we're a conversational show, so if you want to write into tapgamingpress@gmail.com or submit it on our Facebook page, you can do that every week if you want to be part of the conversation. First one is from Trevor. What is the best handheld game you've ever played? Al, go.
Tetris. Original Tetris on.
Game Boy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Simple.
Justin,
Easy.
go.
Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Alright,
Fanboying it up.
that's fine. Chris,
I'll say the original Pokemon games, Red and Blue.
I agree.
I always had yellow.
I concur.
I
Also,
didn't
Or
get,
that too, yeah.
I didn't get red or blue. I jumped in on yellow because I was a big Pikachu fan.
yeah, I like the red and blue. I was gonna say something, but I just had a brain fart. I just like spaced out. Also, I was looking at the horse. I was like, His eye is like fixated right on it.
We're just gonna keep turning this like every
I should have actually
90 degrees.
did that as part of the
Very distracting. I can
podcast.
see how Chris was just like,
staring contest. Go.
You have to understand, like, everyone that randomly spotted me, that's just saw me staring at them, just like this.
Oh, I know. I had the mask on at one point. I was the horse. Yeah. Also, Mario Tennis on Game Boy Color is fucking awesome. So, also Ridge Racer on PSP. So I'm sorry, I just read off like a bunch of them. So, next person who wrote in is Carly, friend of the show. Thoughts on Evil Within. We didn't get a chance to really check it out, so sorry, can't ask you that. But she had a two-parter. They want to know, their family is debating between getting an Xbox One or the PS4. So let's help them out and make the decision very easy for them.
Starting with,
Al.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
we rotate.
I'm gonna keep this short and sweet because I gotta piss like a racehorse.
You hold.
No, but I really do. I really gotta piss like a fucking racehorse, and staring at this motherfucker scares me.
All right. Well, she doesn't care if you have to piss or not. She wants to know
Okay.
if she should get an Xbox One or a PS4.
Well, I guess it depends on what you're looking at in terms of franchises. If you're looking at the PS4, if you're looking for, more, I feel at least, right, where Sony was they were always looking for the story-oriented games. So, like, Infamous Second Son, you had that there. With Xbox One, you have Titanfall, which is a multiplayer game. And with that game, you get a great multiplayer experience. So it really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for, more single-player oriented games, at least right now, I get the sense that you might get more of that with the PS4. If you're looking for more multiplayer type games, then the multiplayer aspects seem to come across right now for the Xbox One.
He just spits in the mask. But,
Since I can't really talk through the mask all that well, I'll just let him hang out about here-ish. And so I honestly, I'm a Sony fanboy. Always have been, pretty much since PlayStation 1 took over King as JRPG after the Super Nintendo realm. But I bought an Xbox One first, and I bought an Xbox One first for a reason. It's where the games are. Sony doesn't really have, as far as I'm concerned, enough games on their platform that really is there for users. I'd like to believe that it will follow suit because I got my Xbox 360 before my PS3. Love my PS3 by the end. Got all the games that I actually really wanted, but right now Sony doesn't have what it takes. They don't really have any games coming out this year that are AAA titles that I need to have. And Xbox One has everything I need, multi-platform and
multi-platform.
first party.
Yeah. So, Chris, what should they buy?
I'm gonna say Xbox One.
No, because you're gonna block out the camera.
The PS4 doesn't really have enough yet
Giddy
to
up.
really be able to give it a fair evaluation. But Xbox One has a pretty good lineup of games and will in the future. So Tim.
So I think with Xbox One and PS4, I think it comes down to, obviously it's about games, but it also comes down to the fuck are you doing?
I want to wear it.
Alright. It comes down to a value proposition. So the games are important, but if you look at PlayStation 4, they're already doing PS Plus games, so you can get. You're not gonna phase me with that.
I've been doing it all weekend.
I've been around that for.
I've been a
72 hours.
mega creep all weekend.
So I like that. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. So it comes down to if you want with PlayStation 4, if you have PS Plus, there's already a bunch of free games. Xbox One, the games with gold is going to slowly transition into it. But yeah, right now I think it comes down to games, and Xbox has better games, so I would say go Xbox One right now.
It's so hot.
Alright, mask off.
So hopefully we made your decision a little easy, Carly. Thank you for writing in. And last but not least, our last user fan question.
Jar, please.
I'm so fucking retarded. Because I'm retarded. Oops.
What do you think I'm a fucking retard?
What do you think? Fucking retard, man.
Nice Deadfall reference.
But comes from Jackie, super fan.
Nice.
Super fan. She wrote in, have you guys played God of War? If so, which one do you think is the best?
Ooh, I like that question.
We'll start with Chris, because Chris has played all of them.
Yeah, 3 easily. Solely because you get to fight all the guys. Well, not all of them, but the major ones, and their fights are all pretty epic.
Yeah, Justin?
2. I think 2 was a big step up from 1. I think 3 was a let down from 2. Just based off of, I don't know, I just don't really like what they did with 3 at all in comparison. I thought 2 was incredible, and just, God of War 1 was short. God of War 2 was more amazing than God of War 1, but longer, and just 3, I wasn't feeling it.
I'm going to say 1 just because I felt like it brought something new to the table. It was pretty graphic, and the combos that you could do were pretty crazy, pretty cool. The story was really good, especially the twists.
Lots of tits.
Yeah, and the tits and twists.
The tits and twists.
The tits and twists. Hashtag tits and twits.
Hashtag horse mask.
Tits and twits.
Oh.
Heard it here first. For me, I'm probably gonna say I really like 2. I really like 3. Ascension was garbage.
Ghost of Sparta.
Yeah, I probably the one I had the most fun with was Ghost of Sparta you can get it on PlayStation 3 now, but it was a PSP game originally.
Yeah,
That's probably my favorite one. So, good question, Jackie. Thank you.
Thanks, Jack.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is... Actually, hold on. We got one more thing to do. I forgot. Chris, can you hand me the whiteboard? Explosion.
He just falls off. He just falls over.
Everything.
So we had a...
Shout out.
Quick plug. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to hold it up. We had
show me that.
Hold on. We made a friend at PAX who is a fellow podcaster. His name is Nick Cascarella. If I fucked your name up, Nick, I'm sorry. But he has a podcast called
3D Life.
This 3D Life.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping Justin was going to read it.
Oh, I'm sorry. He has a podcast called This 3D Life. Apparently is on iTunes and Podbean. And you can also find him on Twitter at iSalsaShark.
Yes, that is his Twitter handle, Nick. So, yeah. He does a video game podcast. Definitely check it out. Like Justin said, you can find it on iTunes and you can find it on Podbean. Their website for Podbean is this3dlife.podbean.com. So you can find it there. Check it out. Thank you, Chris.
Plan on checking that out probably sometime this week.
Yeah, definitely. Check
definitely.
it out. Watch out for the power supply. And just moving against your chair. All right, sweet. So, all right. So, time for do all plugs. If you like the show, like it here on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, Tap Gaming. Follow us on Twitter at Tap Gaming. Like us on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter at Tim_Utley. You can follow Al on Twitter at AlPocalypseNow. You can follow Justin on Twitter at Shalashaska86.
I was wrong before. It's 8986.
8986.
My birthday.
So, quick addendum.
Don't forget, bring me stuff.
Buy him nothing.
Buy me things.
Yeah, so Chris, as always, you can't find him anywhere.
Ghost Walker.
He's a ghost.
The Ghost of Westerly.
Ghost of the internet. Chris's theme song is The Ghost by Tupac. He actually listens to it every day to remind himself that he's a ghost.
His favorite movie has Ghost with Bill Cosby as a ghost.
I think I say Ghost with Swayze.
Nope. Ghost Dad, I think it's called.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, thank you for watching the show. Thank you for writing in, everyone. And we will see you next week.
Peace up. Altown News. Oh my god, I gotta take a piss. Oh fuck.
I wish we actually still recorded that.
Well, the camera's still recording.
Can we somehow get that audio in there? Even
Well,
as
the
an
audio for this can end, and we just have that going still.
Does that pick up audio?
Yeah.
We need to just do
Stu,
like.
actually stop the camera, please. Just hit the top button. Just make sure it doesn't fall off.